brother, please let us know for last thoughts, our listeners live and on podcast.
All right, we know that I do joke quite often about my attempted escapes from the psych ward, but in all seriousness, the psych ward gang is seriously my idea of representing the military. Representing mental health in the military community. So if you happen to run into any type of mental health crisis or emergency, do not be ashamed nor afraid to dial 988, press option 1. Again, just as I had to do when I was in a moment of crisis, do not be ashamed nor afraid to dial the digits 988, then press option 1 if you find yourself in a similar mental health crisis.
Hello, and welcome back to the WarDawg Trail podcast. This is episode 114. I'm your host, Sergeant WarDawg, and along with me today is your other infamous Marine,
Grim 0311. What's going on?
Not much, bro. Not much. I'm glad to see you. I know you're back from another operation out protecting people around the world. We really glad that you're able to join us for this show. We have a great episode for you today with a 2A gun manufacturer. All right, someone that we actually got to run into while we were in SHOT Show in Las Vegas almost 2 months ago. But before we bring today's guest to the stage, let's go over some of today's announcements. All right, first off, you can always visit our website, sergeantwardawgtv.com, to find out the latest and greatest on what's going on with the show. You can also visit our Facebook page, YouTube channel, or Instagram page as well. All right, my book, the same name as this podcast, The WarDawg Trail, a Marine Rifleman's Struggle with War and PTSD, has now been out for a month now. It is now available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Books A Million, and many international stores around the globe. So be sure to pick up your copy. Okay. Our nonprofit, our Camp Doghouse here in Central Florida, is our attempt to alleviate Central Florida's homeless veteran issue. So we've owned land now for 5 years in the Central Florida area. We are ready to make this an official homeless veterans camp. You can now visit campdoghouse.org to find out what we are trying to do here in the Central Florida area to alleviate veteran homelessness. All right, we are brand ambassadors for Reaper Apparel Co. So you can use our code Sergeant WarDawg TV to get 10% off of your entire order. All right, we are also brand ambassadors for Hyperion Munitions. So as well as Hyperion Munitions and their strategic partner sister companies to include T6 Firearms, Veteran Ammo, and Oriskany Arms out of New York. Be on the lookout for content all related to Hyperion Munitions and their sister companies as we continue throughout the show as brand ambassadors for Hyperion. Okay. Last year, we won 2 awards. The first one we won was from Corporate Livewire. We won Veteran Support Nonprofit Organization of the Year for 2023 and 2024. Now, we have 2 new awards that we won this year here in 2024. From Global Health and Pharma, we have won the Mental Health Awards for 2024 as the best veteran mental health awareness network for 2024. All right. Also, from Acquisition International Magazine in the UK, we have been named Veteran Welfare Outreach Nonprofit Organization of the Year for 2024. All right. If you're interested in hearing the audio podcast, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, as well as iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and several others. You can watch our video podcasts on YouTube, as well as on the military broadcast radio station, MBR Radio. Our show airs every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Be sure to tune in to our Military Ballers segment on the WarDawg Trail podcast, where we highlight some unsung heroes that have served their country and well, be it in combat or not, but they've done enough that we felt they deserve a special spotlight and that they were named as Military Ballers on the WarDawg Trail podcast. As always, I'm your host, Sergeant WarDawg, and welcome back to the WarDawg Trail, episode 114. All right, now today we actually have a little bit of footage to go with today's guest. Before we bring him onto the stage, I want to show you just a little bit of our interaction with CEO Derek Ratliff from Horizon Firearms just under 2 months ago while we were at SHOT Show 2024 in Las Vegas. Take a look. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, the CEO and founder of Horizon Firearms, as well as the host of the On the Horizon podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Derek Ratliff.
And appreciate you guys having me. That's a big intro. I love it. I love it.
Good deal.
It's so cool for me to see and be on other podcasts too, because everybody does it so different. Like I love how you guys are doing the front end here, and this software is awesome, man. I love it.
All right, good deal. We really want to thank you. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come join us on the show. We were more than thrilled to be able to fire your weapons at Range Day at SHOT Show 2024. So from the bottom of my heart, we thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the opportunity that we, we're able to see come to fruition by joining you on Range Day at SHOT Show 2024.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me. And yeah, Range Day is always fun. It's brutal from the manufacturer side, and all day.
Hey, it's fun. It was a fun field day, though. Fun field.
I'll tell you, it is pretty neat.
All right. Now, if you don't mind, can you start us off and let us know about the history of the company and where you're located?
Absolutely. So we're located in Texas. We started Horizon Firearms in 2012. My brother and I did, I had worked in the archery space at Bowtech, and we, kind of came back, and I did some outdoor television, and, my brother and I were kind of talking like, man, we want to create a product that is not a throwaway product, right? That's the nice thing about guns are an investment. And we had an opportunity on custom guns specifically to build a product for for, let's say, the guy's grandson, right? And so we wanted to build legacy product, and so we started doing custom guns. And when we do custom guns, like you would think of West Coast choppers, right? So we draw the rifle out. You get a concept drawing, anything from snake skin in the rifle to we've done gold inlays. I mean, the whole thing, and we're building it more about the person than about the the product itself. And so that's how we started. And then in 2014, we created IOTA, which is our own carbon fiber composite stock company. So we make our own stocks in-house. 2021, we acquired Stiller Actions. So a lot of guys know Stiller. They've been around the bolt gun space a long time, done a lot of the Mark 13, military rifles and such. And then kind of in that 2021 space, we also created our Core Series rifles. So our Core Series rifles, which is what you got to fire, those we call them custom at the core. So they're all custom components, but they're produced more like an OEM rifle, but I hesitate to call them OEM. They're guaranteed, half minute of angle. The one you shot had our new Wombat lightweight action on it. And then the other kind of big deal for us is we started doing the 22 Creedmoor back in 2014. That got SAMI approved right there after range day. And so we're the exclusive distributor of the 22 Creedmoor Hornady factory ammunition. And that's a big, big deal for us. That's been a 10-year project in works. And we're super, super excited about what that's done for our company and also really for the industry when you start thinking about fast 22 cal stuff. So.
Oh yeah. No, that was pretty impressive round.
It's fun.
Looking at the ballistics, it was the young lady you all had there. I spoke to her for a while about it, so
I couldn't believe it.
Pretty impressive.
Yesterday, man, we got a video coming out here. We're editing it right now. Yesterday, we did a Willet pistol video. So we built a 26-inch long 22 Creedmoor pistol, and then cut it down with a Sawzall all the way down to 14 inches. And at 14 inches, we shot a 0.4 3-shot group at 100, and then went and shot a half-minute group at 385 yards with a pistol, and it was insane.
Really?
Insane.
Really?
So,
wow,
but it's fun.
Wow,
nice.
Okay, so you all cut it down and you all shot it each time. You just
yeah. So okay. The question people ask all the time is, as you shorten the barrel, what do I lose for speed, or why do you do shorter barrels? We love shorter barrels, right? We're like suppressor guys and like to be able to use the product a little more than having a 32-inch long rifle. And so what we showed is that from 26 inches to 14 inches, there was about a 450 foot drop in speed, but no real change in accuracy. It's just interesting that, we're getting a little over 2,800 feet a second at 14 inches, which you compare that to a 308, ballistically still far superior.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. That's nice.
Yep. So you're on our main site there on Horizon, and you can see we have the various different rifle offerings and some new stuff coming out, and that's kind of our suite of brands that we operate under. So IOTA, Stiller, and then Texas Ammo. We also distribute and are a pretty large distributor of ammunition in all kinds of calibers.
Good deal. While we're on the website, do you mind letting everyone know where they can find the Horizon, the company, as well as the On the Horizon podcast?
Yeah, so horizonfirearms.com is the greatest place to find us. And if you click on podcast there, or if you go to YouTube and search On the Horizon podcast, that's something we've been doing. We kind of kicked that off. It's funny, actually, when we started the company, all garage shop companies have no budget for marketing, right? And so I was doing a talk radio show at 10, 11 o'clock at night on Tuesday nights out of Austin, Texas. And that's how we got started. That's before podcasts were like a thing. And so as podcasts started getting popular, selfishly, I kind of wanted to go back and do that again. So we started that kind of in August. And so On the Horizon podcast there. Yeah, we got some new stuff. Like I said, that we're waiting on some samples for those particular rifles. We're doing some 22-250 stuff. Yeah, that Vandal X is probably our most popular. That gun right there we did specifically for nighttime hunting. So one thing we found with the 22 Creedmoor, guys were looking for a little more weight, and with thermals looking for 0 MOA rails instead of 20. So running an 18-inch gun with a 0 rail, we built that gun around predator hunting at night.
All right.
Okay.
So
Now the Vandal long? Is that the only one that's offered in? Because the rest of them are all offered in 22.
Yeah, so Vandals,
22
when we started, we have the Vanatics. And so our Vanatic rifles, which what you shot in the video, the Vanatics are all based on the new Wombat Action. It's a 22-ounce lightweight action, fully designed in-house here and manufactured. The Vandal series for us was all started based only in the 22 Creedmoor calibers. And so we had several different models there, and then we've expanded that now this year. Oh, that's one of my favorite builds right there, man. That is a cool story. We built that for a guy that actually has his uniform cast into the stock. So he, the son was in the Navy, his dad was in the Navy, and we actually shaped that gun like a ship based on a picture when his ship was retiring.
Good deal.
This one, man, you talk about custom stuff. This one's got a comic book. Now, this guy is very, very specific. It had to have Batman at this particular episode in the stock. The guy collected Batman memorabilia. He even had a Batman Escalade.
Really?
All right.
Yeah, that's got real snake skin in it. So like I said, the custom stuff we do, and we still love to do that. We only do a limited number of those a year, and they go through a completely different department. We shoot every one of them out to 1,000 yards, get the dope and drop on all that. So that's just a couple of examples of something we do there.
All right. Now, I'm really impressed with the fact that, yes, everyone knows about the 6.5 Creedmoor and all, but please talk to us about the way that you stuck to this 22 Creedmoor and how you revolutionized what is going on now with this 22 Creedmoor.
Dude, I love the term there, and I'm going to write that down. It's like stuck to it is the best way to describe that, man. So we started off, I love coyote hunting, and coyote hunting in Texas can be a big money maker if you can win some of these, competitions. And so we were doing some of that with a 22-250, and it's kind of a funny story. I hit a coyote, and the coyote ran off, and we had to take some time looking at it. Wasn't a great shot, but we got to weigh in late, and by being late, we lost out on about $4,000. And at that time, I was like, dang, we couldn't because we didn't meet the time. And so I left there being like, I'm going to shoot something that just anchors coyotes, right? And so we started playing around with some different calibers, 22-243. And at that time, you got to think that is, around 2012, 13 time frame where the 6.5 had come out. But if everybody remembers, everybody kind of wants to forget that when the 6.5 came out, everybody was all anti-negative Nancy. It was like, it's just a 260. It'll never stick. And so we started doing some long range stuff with the 6.5. And one day we wildcatted it into 22. Like, wow, this thing is impressive, right? And we were shooting, 3,400 with a 75 and 80 grain projectile. And so your 1,000-yard dope is better than a 300 Ultra Mag. And we're like, man, this is insane, right? So you got a BC of 4.8 and, speed in that fast. And when it hits, it's got so much RPM. So you're running like 310,000 RPM that it just anchors everything. And so we started doing it, and more people started liking it because they're winning coyote competitions. And selfishly, he's 11-year-old. I've got 2 boys, but my oldest is 11 years old. And, being a dad, I was like, I want to get my boy shooting and hunting early. Right. And so I had him start shooting that 22 Creed in a 16-inch barrel with a suppressor when he was about 4.5, and he shot his first whitetail 5 years old. And since then, I don't know how, we've shot tons of stuff with the 22. And so now it was like, oh, well, this is a great youth gun that anchors deer. They can shoot coyotes with it and go have fun with it. And so I kind of made it, personal mission that I wanted to leave some change on the industry, that like when I get old and I take my grandkids to Cabela's, and I want them to be able to buy 22 Creedmoor ammo because that's something that granddad did, And so, we started loading our own ammo, and it was more capacity than we could even keep up with. So we had a couple other people doing it for us. Peterson was making us some great ammo, and we and I always tell the story. Every year, I would try and go to the trade shows and find Hornady, and I walk into their booth and be like, "Please, can we work together? I know you don't know, please." And believe it or not, and I always tell this story, and I think Neil Davies would laugh, but we're at Dallas Safari Club show, and I'm in the bathroom, I'm drying my hands. He comes in to wash his hands, and it's just the two of us, and he goes, "Hey, hey, Derek, how's it going?" And I look around, I'm like, "There's no way he knows who I am, right?" And he's like, "There's only two of us in here. I'm absolutely talking to you." And so then at that point, I'm like, and so he's like, "How's the 22 Creedmoor doing?" And I'm like, "Man, it's awesome for us. This is what we're doing, but I would love to work with you guys." He's like, "All right, I'm calling Jason right now. We're doing this thing." And man, we hit a great relationship and got it Sammy approved with those guys. And what's cool about them, and I don't know if they say it enough, our family company, so our Casper companies, we're a 5th generation 125 year old company at the corporate level, right? So Horizon's kind of a piece of that. They're 75 years old, right? And so we're both, they're from Nebraska, we're from Texas, and so we have a very similar way of doing business. And man, I think we just kind of hit it off. And they've been super supportive. We've met a lot of good people because of it, and love seeing what the rounds are. I wish we could get more ammo, because man, it goes quick. It goes quick.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So we now, just if anybody's listening and looking for ammo, we're pacing it out so to make sure everybody gets some every Friday. So if you go to 22creedmoor.com or texasammunition.com, every Friday at 8 a.m. we release 5,000 plus rounds for purchase every week. So that way we can make sure that everybody has some all year long. And then as we get more, we're releasing larger quantities, but we're just trying to make sure that everybody, it is a fair shake for everybody that has some all year long.
Good deal.
So that's the long and short of it. But I think the biggest deal is that just ballistically, the long range guys, you want to speed at 3,000 and you want a BC over 5. I always think about those as levers. If you can't get a BC of 5, you need more speed. If you can't get a speed of 3,000, you need more BC. And that 22 Creedmoor, like I said, at 3,300 with a BC of 4.8, it's a beautiful combination.
Right on. Now, I heard you mention earlier that you had a short stint in outdoor TV. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, man, it was interesting. So, I worked at the archery space, and I came back home to Texas, and I was working at a Texas's largest truck accessory distributor. I was a buyer there, and so it was a way to get back home to Texas, but I really missed the outdoor industry, and so came home one day at lunch, and I'm watching the Sportsman's Channel, right? And they had this show, and it's called like North American Hunting for the Dream. It was hosted by Blaine Anthony, and it was one of these deals where you were supposed to film your own like 7-minute segment and edit it, turn it into him, and they put it on there, and people voted popular vote, got a chance to win the show. And so I told my wife, I said, "Hey, we're gonna do this. We're going full send." Of course, she was like, "Yeah, right, whatever." And we got the last spot on the show. We ended up winning the show, and then we did a show ourselves the next year, and it was called like we had a key sponsor, Ranch Hand Truck Beds or Truck Bumpers. So it was Ranch Hand Horizon, and that's kind of where Horizon started hooking. So we did a couple 2.5 years worth of hunting TV while working a full-time job and starting Horizon. So it was before kids, right, man? That was so I learned a lot about video editing and kind of the goods and bads of outdoor television, man. And that world has changed a lot since, that was 2009, 2010 timeframe.
Good deal. Now, I have to admit, right, most people don't know this, but because we have not had a chance to film our hunts yet, but we are definitely going to make our own attempt to try to enter the outdoor TV world as much as we can. No one really understands. We do this podcast on the side. I wrote a book on the side, but we're both Marine infantry guys, with 3 tours in Iraq. So when it comes down to it, we love to be on the gun and we love to be on the hunt. So my hat's off to you, the fact that you are actually, and you've been there and done that when it comes to the outdoor TV world.
Well, I want to say, and I should have answered this. I appreciate you guys' service. I was not military. I have a high respect for guys who were, and especially, like our generation, right? It's close to us, right? We talk about, all the things that went down, and it's funny because now I've got a son who's going into 6th grade. He's learning a lot about World War II. My granddad was a Navy veteran from World War II. And now it's interesting to see kids now asking about like what our generation has went through. And you don't think about it. Like, I don't think about it because we kind of lived it. Right. And so it's like, oh, well, September 11th and like what that did and what that's changed. And we have so many guys who are military, that work for us. And I've learned a lot of the dynamics. I love the dynamics between, okay, I've got an Army Ranger that's doing some of this, and I've got a Marine, I got a Navy guy. And I mean, it's fun. I've learned a lot about crayons and
he went there. Yes, sir. He went there. The crayons, yes, sir. Let it be known, as a Marine, I prefer the orange crayon. I'm an orange crayon eating type of guy. Let it be known.
I love it, man.
Right on. All right. Now, to wrap things up, do you mind letting us know what can we expect in the future from Horizon Firearms?
Yeah, dude. And that's a great question, because at the same time, like what I've kind of prided myself on, we wanted to be, we call it countercultural. And like, when you look at our fluting and you look at like the wombat action, the way we're machining, like we want to do stuff different. Like I was kind of raised up through Bowtech. John Strasson was the owner at the time. And he basically said, don't be a me too. Try not, if you can do anything, don't be a me too. And so, we're focusing a lot this year on just the growth and getting our systems right. The Wombat, that's just now getting out in the market. We want to do a combat Wombat. So we add some integrated rail, integrated lug features. And then you're going to see us do probably a lot more on our IOTA side. I feel like that's one area where in 2023, we kind of missed in terms of, integrated ARCA. That's a big deal. Integrated cheek piece. And so a lot of focus is going to go into the IOTA side, which you understand, as we make advancements in our carbon fiber stock line, automatically we get the advancement on the rifle side, right? Because you can't have a rifle without stock. So so I think that's where you'll see us going. It's just a lot more component focused from a design standpoint. And I'm excited. We've got some cool stuff coming. So.
All right. What about are you headed to any more gun events this year or conventions?
Man, so it's interesting. We slowed down from a show's perspective, this time of year. One thing that we've done, if anybody saw us at the shows, like Dallas Safari Club show we started, we bought and outfitted a large trailer, like a Horizon wrapped and branded trailer that we take now to all the shows. That trailer, I'm doing some upfitting on it right now, changing stuff on the interior. And then we're going to start working on, during this off season, going to dealer events. So follow us on our social, Horizon Firearms, and on Instagram and Facebook. We're going to start showing up at some different dealers across the country and doing parking lot events during the slow time, which it's really cool because we get to meet the end consumers a little more, and they get a chance to like come in the trailer and put their hands on the full suite of product. Because not all dealers stock every model, and that gives us an opportunity to kind of show what's going on there.
All right, good deal. Well, Mr. Derek Ratliff, I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and join us. I know you have a lot going on, but it has meant the world to us that, for one, you gave us the opportunity to come and fire your rifles at SHOT Show, and then today, having this follow-up with you and being able to speak to you on our own podcast in front of the veterans that watch our show really means a lot to us. So we really appreciate it.
And I appreciate it as well. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and appreciate all you guys are doing. And for the invite, it's been great, dude.
All right. Well, thanks again, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Y'all have a good one.
All right. You have a good one now. Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 114 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. Salute.